Hey everyone, Beer with Your Brokers guys are back. I'm Matt King, this is John Perotti. We're with the King team at Kentwood Real Estate. We're going to give you an update on Thornton this week. Today we're at Satire Brewing in Thornton. We are enjoying some nice cold brews on their back patio. You might have noticed we've been gone for a little while. We took a couple of vacations, overlapped, so here we are once again, and we hope you guys stick around for some great updates on Thornton.
All right, so just to give you a little bit of a background for Thornton, you're looking at a population of just shy of 150,000 people, so you are within one of the top 10 largest cities in Colorado. Of that, you're looking at a mix of about 51,000 homes, just under that, and that's going to be your single-family units, townhomes, apartments, and then manufactured homes as well. And what you can kind of see from the last 5 years in Thornton is that you've got roughly about 850 new homes being built every year for an average. So that's a pretty rapid pace of build out. You've got some areas that Thornton is really working on right now, which is the North Washington sub area. That's going to be pretty much 128th and I-25 all the way north to Highway 7 and I-25, and then east along the Burlington Northern Railroad in the Quebec area. And with that, you're looking about 20% of Thornton's land area that is still yet to be developed. You'll see a ton of stuff going up in that area, such as the outlets. You've also got the 136 area, Lark Ridge up off of Highway 7. They've done a lot of the commercial already. Now they're going to start building out a lot more of the homes in those areas as well.
Yeah, the commercial's all along I-25. The homes are a little bit further east, where, if you drive along I-25, you wouldn't have thought there was all that much room in Thornton left, because the further you get north, you start seeing that farmland that we've seen all over northern Colorado that's starting to get developed. And that's what's really, that's driving where a lot of these new houses are going to go.
Yep. And then the other thing that is going on within the city that is really driving a lot of that growth is that we've now got the N line. So rapid transit is starting to move up through Thornton. Right now it goes from, they've got multiple stations from 72nd all the way up to about 124th and East Lake. There are plans to go another 5 miles north and up to the Highway 7 area, which will really help kind of boost all of that. But right now, RTD doesn't have the funding for it to move that far north.
And hope is that it'll eventually connect to Boulder and Longmont and turn around. But yeah, that's kind of what you can expect up here, and it's really helping drive that traffic, that people that can live more in the interior of Thornton. It's a little more affordable. Hop a train, you're in downtown Denver, you drop off at Union Station. It's a great opportunity. So when we are looking at Thornton's detached products this year, we saw an increase over last year, just about 15%, which, we were seeing some really high numbers on some of our earlier shows. Obviously, we're starting to get into that more normalization. This was for July of this year over July of last year. The average sales price, $524, up over the $450 from last year, around $450 last year. The max price, this was really interesting, was $815 in Thornton. Last year it was $810, so they're pretty comparable. There was no indicator that just blew everyone out. The biggest difference, the $700,000 sales. There was only a couple last year, whole bunch this year in July. The minimum sales price, so you can see this is one thing that Thornton offers plenty of opportunity. On the low side for the detached product, we did see it come in at $270,000. So you got that $270, $815. That $270, it was a fixer-upper, which you can kind of expect in Thornton. But Thornton does stretch for a long range along I-25, and you do have some properties that do button up against I-25, which generally does hurt values a little bit, but that is something you can kind of look for. You can see there's plenty of opportunity in Thornton. It was a big driver, especially a few years ago, people that were like, hey, I'm getting out of Denver, I'm close, but this is that opportunity where it's very affordable compared to some of the other suburbs as you get closer to Boulder especially. So it's a big driver for Thornton that you have that opportunity to get into a house for a reasonable price.
Yeah. And you mentioned that Thornton spreads all the way along I-25. I think it's important to understand that 104th kind of used to be the northern border from like 84th to about 104th Avenue. And that's where you had a lot of homes that were built in the 50s through the 70s. And then north of 104th, then they started being, Thornton started to expand. So you had more of the 80s and 90s builds, and then now 136 north for the most part, 128, 136-ish, and then further east, that's where you start getting the 2000s and up builds. So you do have that wide variety of different types of homes, different eras of homes, and sizes and whatnot. And so that's why you do see a lot of that price differential in there.
Yeah.
One thing that's important to note is that year-over-year sales, they were pretty comparable, and Thornton provides a lot of opportunity. So last year there were 202 sales in the detached market, and then this year in July there were 192. So very comparable, and that's also quite inflated over what we're seeing in Lafayette, Broomfield, Erie. You've just got more opportunity along that price range to take a look at.
When it comes to the attached product in Thornton, we're not seeing the appreciation that we have in other places year over year, where we saw these outrageous and outlandish numbers. Thornton is more reasonable. It's at that 8% year over year growth, with also sales way down. Not a ton of attached product here compared to, as you get further south, there is a good bit. The interesting thing is a lot of these new communities, when they get built, they start in the other areas, they're doing a lot of attached product. Thornton, not so much. They're going for that single family detached housing. More so, they do have the attached product available. But what we're seeing is year over year prices up 8%, average of $332, up just over $308 from the year before. The top sales price was $494. The lowest was $124.9. There was a lot in July. There was a lot in this one specific unit in 2021 that really kind of stuck around that 120 to 160 mark. That kind of brought the average down a little bit. But it was still, with the numbers of actual sales, kept it well below. I mean, we looked at a drop of 35% year over year, as you saw, north of 90 sales last year and just under 70 this year.
As always, we just wanted to say thank you for joining us as we did our segment here in Thornton at Satire Brewing. We want to thank Satire Brewing for allowing us to stay out on their beautiful patio, enjoy their delicious beers.
In the shade.
In the shade, yeah, which was very nice. And once again, we do have a YouTube channel, so if you would like, subscribe, comment on it, we'd really appreciate it just to help us get that going. But also, if you wanted to leave a comment on our Facebook page, feel free to do that as well. And then lastly, if you are looking at Thornton, or if you just want to come out and have a beer, give Matt or myself either a phone call, text, email, and we'll take you out and treat you to a beer here at Satire Brewing. We'd like to support the local businesses here. Limited it up to 10 people, so the first 10 people to come out. We do have families that we also have to support, so we can't support everybody's drinking habit. But we'll take you out and just have a good time and enjoying some tasty beverages. So once again, thank you very much, and until next time, Prost.
Prost.